Segment 3 tonight is a talk with Private First Class Robert Garwood.
And when I saw what I was doing and what my country was doing to these people, then I felt much ashamed.
This is my son Eddie. He started working when he was about 14 years old, 15 years old after school. You know, you could sell a front for $200, $300. Really? Of course.
Anyway, so this is basically what we have. Come on, get the board under.
No good. What a bank that works and what now?
What do you mean there are no shock shucks? It only costs $25 and about 2 minutes working time to replace a shock absorber.
What's this you're carrying here, sir?
Oh, a bread.
And what's this signify?
Money.
Money. And you haven't been getting any?
Not very much.
Whose fault is it?
The union.
And what do they do to keep the bread away from you?
Frankly, I haven't seen a contract. I don't even know what we're entitled to.
I said, don't take my card.
So we have, I think it was about 130 boxes that we pulled out of our attic crawl space, and in it we had very old tapes from the 70s, the early days of video, some in open reel formats, some in VHS formats, some in beta formats, all in sort of unknown conditions because they've been up in this crawl space that's difficult to access. Storytelling that we created in the 70s, 80s, 90s, and 2000. Some very important stories from all around the world, captured on video in the early days of video.
But even though we know some are very valuable stuff, we just didn't have enough time or manpower. And when the NYU offered this help, this is really, we felt, you know, this is just an amazing gift you are giving us.
My name is Chris Nichols. I'm studying at NYU in the graduate program for Moving Images, Archiving, Preservation in the Cinema Studies department. Today we're running a community archiving workshop with DCTV. It's a downtown community television center. We're running through hundreds and hundreds of their old videotapes for the last few decades, just giving very basic assessments because nobody seems to have looked at them in a very long time. Mostly people would not be experts. It wouldn't be something that they would be particularly trained in. It would be a mixture of experts and novices. There's a really strong sense that the material at an institution is extremely valuable and needs to be taken care of. If you're working at a community archiving event, I think that a lot of the material, it's so unknown what's there that it's impossible to know whether it's extremely valuable or not.
When we're inspecting these videotapes, the first thing that we do is we assign a unique identifier. It's a barcode with a number on the container and on the actual cassette. The second thing we do is we log the old box ID. That's something that was written on the box so that we can find it later and find each item within that box. After that, we assign a project or program name. Often that's written on the box as well. In this case, it was Cuba 75, Cuba 1975, so every single item in that box would have the same name. For the format, this is a U-matic S tape, which you can identify by the shape of the tape or the fact that here they usually say U-matic S or VHS or something along those lines on the container. It looks like the tape is in okay condition, but it's not fully rewound. Not really a stepped pack, meaning that it looks like the videotape is kind of flush, so pressure was even in storage, even if it wasn't fully rewound. We would write down any annotations, any writing on the item or on the housing. Might be important identification information. we would note if there are any inserts in the container. Maybe someone put a handwritten note in there that has important information. And that's basically the process for inspecting and cataloging a videotape.
I'm Mona Jimenez. I work at NYU in the Moving Image Archiving and Preservation program. The first thing we have to do when we start to think about preservation is actually finding a material, figuring out which of these productions are really important, and then which of the tapes really represent what should be preserved. So really this is all about DCTV having the information they need to be able to make preservation decisions. I'd say that the media community has always been about democratization. There's always been a bunch of us who are interested in, demystifying processes, demystifying the process of production. In this case, we're demystifying the process of archiving. It's not something that we can't all learn how to do. So today, we have people who are more experienced and have done some of the inspection and inventory, and for some, it's their first time they've ever picked up a videotape and tried to do that. So that's about sharing the skills that we need to preserve the work. So this is our social history. This is what the people will be looking for, scholars, educators, students, people who want to make new work. They need to be able to access this kind of information. And it's not being shown on the regular, mainstream media. Also, now that we all have cameras and we're shooting all the time, personal archiving becomes more important. So being able to hang on to those digital files that we know are so ephemeral. They tend to disappear off our hard drives and things. So being able to save that work. So we have to really share information and learn how to do it and sort of collectively, make sure that our heritage is complete.
Having a lot of fun today. It's interesting because I actually learned how to do this in class just 2 weeks ago. So I'm already using what I learned in class 2 weeks after the fact. So it was pretty interesting.
It's my first time doing archiving. It's a very detailed kind of work, and you start to realize how easy it is to get something wrong and how important it is to get them right. And for if you start to look back and you find your mistakes or you find somebody else's mistakes, it can be frustrating, but it's also reminding you to be thorough and to do it right.
It's great actually, because almost everyone around me is from a different country, and it's a lot of fun. It's interesting to get to know people. I'm working with someone from Australia, then there's someone from Iceland, and so it's very culturally diverse.
It's kind of because we're all here for the same for these items, for these same things, that we are kind of we're related through these things that we care about, and we're taking care of something, and we're all taking care of this together, and it's kind of rewarding. And then you have coffee together, and then you go back, you keep taking care and being thorough. And I really enjoy doing this.
And I am here because I am interested in the archiving work. As an historian, I understand the importance of archiving for the research and for the information, the free information, for not only for scholars or nurse students, but for community.
But I'm thinking now preservation is really the next important place that we all need to go, because we do all this work and we die. But we need to be very strategic about leaving, our footprint. And so I'm here to learn along with everybody else, and I appreciate the opportunity to learn. It's been great for me.
Một giấc.
Yep.
Okay, well, I think we ended up with, we have our eight students from the class, and I think we had about 25 people in the room.
I know, it was a great turnout.
It really was. So what we did was, I think we did 234 descriptions at the item level.
Incredible.
And also, I reboxed 5 productions.
Let's close the last box, shall we?
We shall.
Wait, what?
You have to make them stand up.
Oh, sorry. See, I'm learning something new. Okay, till next time. Thanks, NYU.